That over there, ladies and gentlemen, is Edinburgh Castle. Whoa, look at this beautiful clock tower. You can't convince me that a drug deal has never happened over there. Hello everybody, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. Today I'm in Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland. While I am based in Glasgow, Edinburgh, the capital, is not too far from here, so I'm on a small day trip today to explore this place. And what better place to start than the Scott Monument? Take a look at that. Look at all those very old buildings just out there in front of you. And it's autumn right now, and you can see it in the color of the leaves. Very, very beautiful. There's the National Galleries of Scotland, like, you know, the National Museum perhaps. That's Edinburgh Castle, I think. And yeah, basically this entire region looks very beautiful. Okay, I'm not a Scottish native, yeah, as you can see, so I'm not too sure what each of these buildings are. Over there in the distance is the Walter Scott Monument we just walked from, and over here in front of me is the National Gallery of Scotland. Now, what caught my eye and made me consider entering is this over here. Guys, the UK is very expensive, so anything free, I'm gonna do it. If it's not free, I might not do it. I just got out from the museum behind me. Very nice. There were a lot of paintings, like a lot of paintings. For what was a free admission, very, very worth it. Yeah, they had paintings by Van Gogh. Yeah, they had a painting by a certain French or Italian artist, about 7 of them, which was apparently one of the best collections in Western art history, which the Scottish Museum has. Fantastic. I saw it. Very nice, by the way. Yeah, okay, there were a lot more paintings inside, but I can't really explain them. Not that really art inclined, so apologies. But take a look at where I am right now. Okay, so this is Edinburgh Waverley, which is where you're hearing the trains from. This is Edinburgh's main train station, and you can find trains here to Glasgow, to basically any part of the UK. So that's very nice. That's the monument we started at, so right beside. And of course, over here, the museum. So all right beside each other. I'm now gonna go over here. So to this bunch of, brilliant, beautiful buildings. I don't really have a plan in mind as to where I'm gonna go in Edinburgh for the 3 or 4 hours that I'm here. Just go where my legs take me. This is a pretty interesting monument. Take a look at this. And I'll explain it in a bit. The South African War is the first Boer War, right? And what is the Boer War? Basically a war between England and the Netherlands in South Africa over colonialism. Whoever's gonna control South Africa. So yeah, not the sweetest sort of monument you wanna build, right? Both England and both England and Netherlands. What the hell are they doing in South Africa anyways? So okay, I see a small sort of staircase leading into somewhere. I don't know. There's quite a bit of folks coming out the other side. I'm quite interested as to what this place is. Freedom is a noble thing. I agree, Mr. Barber. What is this, man? Okay, great. I just stumbled upon a monument to another Scottish writer. I don't know what is it with Edinburgh and writers. Perhaps there is some special relationship which I'm too stupid and ignorant to know and understand. But yeah, pretty interesting. This is literally just a side quest, Now that I just came out through this place and take a look at where I am right now. What? So that's the St. Giles Cathedral apparently, and it's a big monument on Google Maps itself. You can see the Scottish flag waving proudly over there. I don't know what that is, but it looks amazing. And over there in the distance, you can see the sea, right? That is the North Sea, out into Norway from here. I think this is well and truly the tourist street of Edinburgh. So I was there up ahead. You can hear the Scottish bagpipes. I hope that's the correct name, because I got clowned on earlier by my friends for not saying the right term. I hope those are Scottish bagpipes. Anyways, I was there up ahead. This is the St. Giles Cathedral, just walked up, and there's a lot to do over here. Take a look at this, right? Look at the architecture and vibe of this, and these dates. Oh, clearly it's been around for a very long time. very historic part of town. A lot of tourists, including yours truly. I believe I'm now at the end of the street. Okay, there's this like weaving mill thingy. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but at the end of the street, you perhaps have the highlight of Edinburgh. Whoa, that over there, ladies and gentlemen, is Edinburgh Castle. But I don't think I can, or at least I need a ticket or something, which unfortunately I'm too broke for. I just spoke to the guard in front of the queue over there, and he said I needed to buy a ticket online. Either I buy it online or I go in person, but it's a more expensive ticket. Now, this is what it says online. That unfortunately, guys, is out of this channel's budget. Yeah, this is a budget travel channel. It's a real pity I can't enter the castle because, to be very honest, it looks really good, but at £21.5 it's very expensive. And yeah, I mean, some things in the UK are just very expensive. I did find something very interesting on the side of the road though. Read this. I can't exactly find a fountain over here. Nowhere. It's, I guess they have closed it up. But yeah, it's nice to see something in commemoration of the women who were executed for witchcraft. One of the stupidest, one of the most tragic incidents in all of humankind in Europe, in history. Very stupid. They killed cats, which led to the plague. Obviously, so many women who were just executed for simply living and doing cool stuff. Yeah, very sad, and it's nice to see some sort of remembrance of it. If you're like me and wondering why there are red shutters on a church, okay, why there's so much red paint on it, well, I was overhearing from a tour group, and there were 3 reasons presented. 1, it is believed to ward away evil spirits, which is sort of the Chinese way of thinking, no? So I'm not too sure how it came into Scottish Christianity. Number 2, it shows that it's mortgage free. Fair enough. And number 3, which he said is the most plausible reason, red paint is the cheapest you can get in Scotland. So yeah, he said that's the most plausible reason. So that's what I'm going to take from that talk. This entire street, all the way from the castle up until somewhere over there, is called the Royal Mall, and you can see it on the signboard over there. Now, I just crossed the road, and there are 2 very interesting things in front of me. Number 1, this is David Hume. Okay, I've heard of him somewhere. I've read about him somewhere. I just can't remember who exactly he is. Secondly, and take a look at this. Fantastic. Whoa. Okay, look, Dipankar, my friend, whom you've seen in another video, said that walking through one of these is considered to be gay in the UK. Well, there's no other choice over here. Nothing wrong in being gay, I'm just not one. Anyways, whoa, take a look at this. Fantastic, isn't it? Am I stupid or am I stupid? The answer is yes. So this is St. Giles Cathedral, not the one I showed before. So I have no clue what the other one is. And over there, you can see the French flag. Man, okay, it's not flying right now, but take a look at the colors. I was just in Paris about 2 weeks ago, so that's rather nostalgic. I have no clue. Why is there a French flag here? What that building was? Why is this St. Giles Cathedral? And I overheard another tourist group saying that they used to behead people over here and you could smell it on the streets back in the day and whatnot. Wow, very fascinating, but I am very uninformed. I just found out why is there a French flag over here. The answer is very simple. The Consul General of France. That's it, okay? I guess they wanted to be right in front of a cathedral, which reminds them of home and Paris. Makes sense. The people at the French embassy were very nice. I went in and they gave me this free map of Edinburgh so I can check out where I am and all that sort of stuff. And it's a great piece of memorabilia and I love maps, so all's good. To all you economics kids, I found your ultimate father and guru, Adam Smith, the father of modern economics, the invisible hand. Yeah, right over here. I think I do remember he was Scottish, so it does make sense there's a statue for him right in front of St. Giles Cathedral. Take a look at it once again. Whoa. I love walking in Edinburgh so far, right? It gives you it really feels like you're in the UK, you know? See the buildings behind, the red telephone booths, fantastic. It gives you a very British vibe, if I may. But I don't want to use that word because Scots don't like being called British, okay? In fact, I saw so many stickers saying we're Scottish, not British. Now, you really feel like you're in the United Kingdom over here. And so what is the United Kingdom, Scotland, Britain? Might be very confusing, but let me try to explain, right? The UK, the United Kingdom, consists of four countries. Okay, four countries: Scotland, England, which is like the center of power, right? England, Wales, as well as Northern Ireland. Now, Northern Ireland is on the island of Ireland. Okay, why the UK has Northern Ireland? Don't ask me. Okay, that is a big piece of history on its own, but that exists. England, Scotland, and Wales exists on the island of Great Britain. Okay, so that's why we mean by British. It would be weird to say I'm United Kingdomese, so people just say British. Okay, that's like the shorthand over here. Some people also say they're English, some people say they're Scottish. Now, the English taking independence from the UK would seem stupid because they are the center of power, but the Scots, they have a different sort of culture, right? They're more left-leaning. The current Scottish party, Scottish National Party, the one in power right now in Scotland, their main motto, their main message is that we'll get you independence from the UK. So they did have a referendum about this earlier, about less than 10 years ago, and they only very narrowly lost it, very narrowly. But I'm quite sure, especially after Brexit today, if they were to take that same referendum today, Scotland might become independent and the world's newest country. This is the end of the Royal Mall, and over there is Holyrood Palace, which I expected to be a bit more. Okay, this is not the best view, but I find it a bit underwhelming. And I think actually this is the entrance, the King's Gallery, and it is paid. So it's not even a great view from the outside, so bummer. Anyways, this place should seem familiar if you follow my Instagram account. Follow it. Okay. Anyways, this is the Scottish Parliament, right? You can go inside. I've been there, so I'm not going to do it again. Here you can see all the important flags of Europe, Scotland, Ukraine. I think, yep, that's the British flag, United Kingdom, the EU, very nice. And you can see hills over there, which I think is the highlight in this place. If you go that way towards the hills, you'll be able to hike up Arthur's Seat, which is, like I mentioned before, the dormant volcano upon which Edinburgh has been settled upon. Since we alighted from the train at Waverley Station, that's the name of the central station, I've only been exploring one side of Edinburgh, the southern end I think. So I'm gonna try walking to the other side, right? Just see what's there, because there are some very pretty buildings there as well. Before that, you go through a sort of graveyard, a very pretty graveyard mind you, which also I've already been to. This region I've explored quite a bit on my previous trip over here. I don't know whether it's just me, is it because I'm vlogging, or is it because it's the cobblestone streets or something, but cars here just seem louder. And I now know why, you know, Europeans feel so out of it when they go to India, where the traffic's just a lot... Yeah, you hear that? Where the traffic's a lot louder. I understand why they feel that way. Oh, oops. Okay. Crossing the road over here is also very hazardous, I feel. Yeah, the roads are weird, man. Right on the side over here, in this place, you can't convince me that a drug deal has never happened over there. Man, I don't know where's Google Maps telling me to go, but take a look at that. This seems very, very, very shady. Over here is the train station, Edinburgh Waverley, and I'm now on the other side of it, having walked for about 15 minutes or so, and immediately a very grand elaborate arc welcomes us. So I'm now very excited to see this part of town, which I haven't before. I seem to have just made one large circle around Edinburgh, so let me explain. Over there is a writer's monument. Remember, that's where we started off at. And look at this beautiful clock tower. Okay, I don't know whether it's a clock tower or is it just a hotel, because I can't really find anything on Google Maps. But anyways, fantastic, and you can see the Scottish flag on top. Over here we have the British flag, which is at a lower height, which perhaps says something. Okay, and yeah, I'm not exactly sure what is going on over here. And over there was the gardens we walked through. Okay, can you see in the distance over there? That is Clayton Hill apparently, and that monument on top is dedicated to the Scottish soldiers who died during the Napoleonic Wars. So yes, there have been quite a few villains in Europe. Napoleon was one of them. And this place is called Waterloo Place, so perhaps a bit of a middle finger to Napoleon right over there. Upon closer inspection, this seems to be a closed museum of sorts. It says it's the Scottish People's Centre, but it's not open, and it says that there are some, I don't know, archives inside and whatnot. Okay, I can't enter, looks pretty from the outside, that's it. This is a hotel, it's called the Balmoral. Okay, I thought it might be something else, but yep, that is a hotel, and wow, they have built it very well. I don't know whether it's an old building which they've repurposed into a hotel, regardless, fantastic. Wow, you can see the sea from here, again the North Sea, and there's quite a bit of cool stuff this way, like a pillar and everything. I don't know if I want to get ultra distracted and go that way though, although I do have time. There are some cool buildings in front as well. Okay, can you see that building with the green dome? Maybe I'm gonna walk this way, okay, because this way is towards the monument, which I really want to show you guys. I am now at the spot. So firstly, for the physics nerds, this is James Clerk Maxwell, which you would immediately know. That name should be very familiar because of these equations, which I studied myself in high school. Yeah, I can't remember what is it about, but definitely something to do with electric currents, I'm very sure, because I remember seeing at least Maxwell's equations. So that's statue number 1. Now for the pièce de résistance, right? Ta-da! Here you go, that's Paddington Bear. Okay, everyone's taking photos in front of the Melville Monument. So that brings me to the end of this video. I did take photos with Paddington Bear as well, which you can check on my Instagram account. Yeah, follow the channel, this YouTube channel, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. And with Paddington Bear in the background somewhere over there, I'll end the video. Cheers from Edinburgh. Thank you guys. One more thing which I want to say before I end it is that what I've shown you is just a snippet of what Edinburgh has to offer. There's a lot more which I couldn't quite know and explore on this small exploration journey. So do your research and hello.
Hello.
You're from Edinburgh?
I'm in a rush actually.
See you.
Sorry, we're just
Bye.
here.
Very sweet. Anyways, yeah, what I've shown you in Edinburgh is just a snippet, so there's a lot more. Do your research and go by yourself. Thank you. Goodbye.